Hi, Commissioner Desloge. Thank you so much for taking time to be with us. We know this has been just a very hectic time for all of us, and we want to take this opportunity to maybe talk about a couple different things, but to thank you for your leadership as chairman of the Leon County Commission, and for all the hard work, actually from the chamber side, all the hard work that all of our elected officials are doing. So thanks for taking time. We know that you are running very fast and furious, trying to make sure that you're talking to a lot of our local businesses, and that's what we want to do. There's a couple things that have happened within the last 24 hours. First, if we can, any opening remarks you want to make just with regards to what we're facing as a community and really as a country?
Well, yeah, I tell you what, it's really nice to see everybody pulling together. It's been crazy and local government stepping in, but it's nice to see everybody in the community, the business community, the nonprofit community, the faith-based community. Everybody's playing a role and everybody's stepping up, which shows the kind of community we have, which is encouraging.
So recently, thank you. Recently, Leon County created a stay-home order. Maybe great move by our community. I think the feedback we've received is the businesses understand why it was done. I think there's been a little bit of confusion, or maybe a point of clarification of what it is and what it's not. Maybe if you can touch on that briefly, that would be very helpful.
Sure. So we issued, as chairman of the county commission, it's within my latitude to issue what we call the stay-at-home order, which to cut through all the clutter. Really what it allows businesses that are operating under the current circumstances can continue to operate. We imposed a curfew from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. But really what we've done is we've given law enforcement the tools now to any group of 10 or more in the community, anytime, anywhere, they can disperse. And they've got the legal latitude now to go in and ask people to leave, whether it's a party, whether it's a gathering. And really a big concern was 65,000 college students coming back or in some form or fashion in our community with really not a lot of things to do. And the fear was that would continue to populate and promulgate this disease or the virus. So the businesses can continue to operate the way they've been operating. We would just ask a sense of responsibleness, and people stay home unless you have to be out.
Okay, wonderful. Bryan, pivoting a little bit here, but knowing how busy you all have been, yesterday you chaired the Blueprint Intergovernmental Agency meeting, which I know that our businesses were very anxious about, and the opportunity to step forward and really try and support, that's both the county and the city commission, a local program to help support our businesses. If you can, and I know you were commenting that it was a long meeting yesterday, but there were some great outcomes. If you can summarize and maybe give a sense of where we are with that.
Sure. It was, so the intergovernmental agency Blueprint consists of all the city commissioners, all the county commissioners. So I chaired that. We went 4.5 hours without a break. I will tell you that the legal implications relative to sunshine, public notice, and those type of things, and the technology issues, because we did it like this times 12, was pretty daunting. And my MIS group and my legal group were pulling their hair out trying to figure out how to put all this together. It worked. The staff in record time had put together a proposal to basically try and take $1 million of economic development money that we can basically get out to the small businesses in our community. There's a lot of discussion about, should it be more? What does it look like? A couple of us felt pretty strongly that speed was of the essence, and how fast we get this out is more critical than making it perfect. And so in the end, the product that we came out of with a majority vote was $1 million to the businesses in this community. We're taking applications today. You can look at OEV for Business. You can look at my Facebook page. You can look at the county's website or Facebook page, the city's Facebook page or website. And it's tiered into 3 categories based on the size of your business by employees. So 1 to 10, 10 to 20, I believe, and then 20 to 50. And they're grants, and they're not designed to be everything to everybody, and it's certainly not going to carry them over the finish line. But we feel pretty confident that that money, plus what the Small Business Development Group has already got put out there, plus what the federal government just approved night before last, which we're still sorting through, hopefully it'll take people over the finish line. But we're looking for, as we like to say, a bridge to a bridge. In other words, this is get you up on your feet and keep you moving. It's gonna run fast. They literally opened the website up last night, started taking applications, and they were in training this morning, training people on how to take these applications. Our anticipation is 3 to 5 days, we will be putting checks in people's hands.
That's great. Remind us again as far as the website and how businesses can get to that information.
So probably the best way to go is OEV for Business, which is the Office of Economic Vitality's website. I've got a clip on Facebook on my page. The county clearly has information on their Facebook page, on their website, the city as well, the website and their Facebook page. And there was a lot of concern among the commissioners about how do we get this out, the word out. So we're actually asking all the chambers, y'all in particular, because you have the biggest bandwidth, to try and help us promote that and get it out to people, because it's a little daunting. And if they have trouble applying, we want to hear from them. I got a couple of phone calls last night and emails and text people that said, I've got a question about this or a question about this. So we're tightening up the application process to make it as easy as possible.
Okay. Well, it's been, I will say the staff at OEV, Office of Economic Vitality, we've been working very closely, and they have been feeding us information for our resource page as well. And we're pushing that out to our 1,400 members, and it's important. And so whatever we can do to continue to push out that information as well, we're here to support. I know you're out there talking.
Well, it might be worth, we recorded the meeting yesterday, the blueprint meeting, and we tied in our federal lobbyist who spent about half an hour, 40 minutes unpacking what the federal stimulus package looks like. If people are interested, I'm sure they can find that on our website. And it's early part of the meeting. Don't stay for the whole 4 hours, but the first hour we had our federal lobbyist. So if there's questions about the federal stimulus, probably a good place to go. Okay, great.
You know, Bryan, before you were an elected official, you started a business, you ran a business, you have always been, you're a wonderful community champion. And so thank you for all that you do. You know, your perspective, I think, and you're a great cheerleader for our community. What's the messaging? And I know people are reaching out to you because you've got so many business owners that look to you. What are you hearing out there? Or what's the message you want to make sure you continue to put out there for people?
You know, I told my kids growing up, you know, you see what people are made of in the toughest of times. And this is the time when people start to step up and people start to kind of show what they're made of. And frankly, we see the fiber of our community, the character of our community. I think it's the kind of community we are. Everybody from, as you pointed out, from the business community, the faith community, the nonprofit community, local government. I mean, we're one of the first local governments in the country to offer aid to businesses. When we went out and looked around the country, there was some packages in the San Francisco, New York, the major metropolitan areas. Tallahassee usually isn't considered in that same area. And for us, we're real proud of what we accomplished yesterday at Blueprint. We want to get that money out to the people, but that's just a small piece of what's going on in our community right now. We'll get through this. It's tough, and I feel for the business owners. And I'm, you know, I can't imagine having had something like this happen on my watch when I was making payroll. But it's life, and we got to get through it and figure out how to get to the other side. And I'm confident we'll come out of this, and we'll come out of it stronger.
Yeah. You know, I think I was at the press event 2 days ago, which seems like 6 weeks ago, with you and the mayor. And again, recognizing you as chairman and Mayor Daley, really representing our local governments, and with the CEOs of our government, with Vince Long in place and Reese Goad. You all are doing a lot. Is there anything else that you want to make sure that our businesses know that the county is pushing forward with regards to the COVID-19? I know you're working in partnerships with our governments and our medical providers and our higher educational institutions, but is there anything last before we wrap up that you want to make sure that our listeners know about?
Sure. I mean, I would be careful about reading a headline and assuming anything. I mean, you know, there's a little bit in overreaction in some places in the community. go to a source that you trust, and that's the health department. Probably would be the first, in my opinion. We've got a lot links to them on the county website, and be responsible and be safe. You know, there's no reason to be out if you don't need to be. That doesn't mean to be a scare tactic. It just needs common sense. You know, and it's all the things we're hearing about: wash your hands, stay in small groups, don't congregate. We'll get through this, and we're going to get through it, and we'll be fine.
Okay, great. Bryan, thanks so much. We appreciate you, and thank you for your leadership. Be safe.
Thanks. Take care.
All right.